evening, seniors, families, faculty, and administration. Sorry I can't be there this evening, but I'm here to introduce the 2024 St. Rose Boys Soccer Senior Awards. It was a good season. The boys played so well and did so well through a very difficult season. To lose on penalties to Moorestown Friends was disappointing, but I think it was disappointing because of the high standards and the expectation that all of the lads had set because of their hard work and just their confidence in their ability. So I look back on it as a one of kind of muted disappointment, but I couldn't be prouder to have been the boys' coach this year. They gave so much and they played some great football in the process. So, you know, I was never one to sort of celebrate when you lose, but I'm always a big believer in keeping things in perspective, and that, you know, success is not defined by winning and losing. You know, I think it's about giving your all, and I definitely believe that we were successful in that. So thank you very much, lads, and you know, congratulations on what was a great season. So as I mentioned, I'm here to introduce the seniors. You know, I've learned so much from all of these boys. Some of them I've had for 4 years, and we have a total of 13 seniors graduating this year, going on to greener pastures in no particular order. Jack Harmon, he's a 4-year varsity player with us. You know, he you know, came in my first year back in 2020 during COVID. He worked hard. He kept Shane Colleen honest. And we knew that we were going to have a great goalkeeper for many years to come. I believe best goalkeeper in the show, and he's going to go on and show that when he goes on to play at Easton next season. So congratulations, Jack. Jack Kane, again, another player that's been with us for 3 years. As committed and hardworking a player as I've ever seen. Incredibly trustworthy, you know. Scored a really important goal this year against Point Pleasant. We really needed that goal, and we might not have got where we got to if he hadn't scored that goal. So, you know, and he's another one of the captains of the year. One of the final captains, Andrew Restiano, again, another 4-year player who was with me since the beginning. Mr. Consistency, always gave his best, scored some really important goals. I think that brace towards the end of the season was a real confidence booster for him, and you know, he was very important to us, and he's going to go on and continue being important to Ramapo next season. So many, so I'll try and rattle through these quickly. Diego Nieves, I've known Diego for a long time. I couldn't be prouder that he's off to play for Widener next year. You know, it's a beautiful campus. I was actually lucky enough to be out there during the fall. Late fall, but he produced some great moments for us down the years, and really helped the team win in moments when it didn't seem like we were going to win. This year, obviously, we had Carlos who came in, and he really allowed Carlos Ramos, helped us be competitive after we lost some important players the season before. You know, he really helped us. We had him playing centre mid, and then, you know, he said to us, well, I should play centre back. And that's when things really changed. You know, he was a bit of a general back there. He marshaled things, you know, and he's going to go and do the same thing when he goes to Caldwell next year. All right. Matthew Alexis, a versatile player, played in lots of different positions, centre forward, scored some goals, played at the back, and he just played wherever he needed, and he always gave his best when he was on the field. I'll always remember him for blocking the ball with his face in the State Cup final in 2022 when we were up in Franklin. And when I ever need an example for what committed defending is, and I'll always use that. Max Lindung, again, another player that's played through all 4 years. He was a freshman player, and then he's JV, and last year he played varsity, and he's really improved. And often underestimated was Max, and I think opponents underestimated him at their peril. And the same thing for Anderson Looney. I was happy that he was really able to contribute. He scored a couple of goals this year, and again, he's another player that played freshman, played JV, and really sort of progressed as things went through. And when it got to his senior year, he was an important part of the team. We were able to create a good training environment so that we could, be competitive, and that's really important. Michael Ravallo, played for us a couple of years ago, and then took a year off, and I was so happy that he was able to come back. He's a hard-working lad, and I think he made more of a difference than he realizes. He came on and he allowed lads to have minutes of rest, and he contributed to the game, and he kept the level right where it needed to be. Similar thing could be said for Shane Redmond. He was another player that started in the freshman team, and he played varsity last year and this current year. So he's someone that's always did well for the team, whether it be right back, left back. Put some great balls in from corners and free kicks. And again, he always did what the team needed him to do. You got Isaiah Taylor, fast and pacey attacking player. He really helped us with some important goals. That goal against Rani will always be, one of the important ones that I think of with Isaiah. It was always a tough game playing against Rani. And we were throwing everything at them, and then, just being in the right place at the right time and sort of finishing in that moment, exactly what Isaiah was capable of, and he always did a great job for us. Aiden Bonchek, Aiden, again, he's always been the consummate team player. Always at training, had a real tough time this last year with injuries. You've got teenagers, they don't really tell you how they're feeling a lot. And, I could see that Aiden was struggling, and I know how long it was bothering him, and just to know that he was showing that level of commitment, like, putting the team in front of his own, his own body, so to speak, was just, and then, when he wasn't able to play, he was always there supporting on the sidelines, helping out at training, collect the cones, and you can't sort of replicate that kind of feeling. It really makes the difference. And then finally, Jack Tiernan. Jack played played JV in the second year I was here, and then he took a season off, and I just wonder if what could have been, what could have been if he'd have kept playing. But he scored a lot of goals. And he could have played soccer in another life, and it was definitely a sliding door kind of moment somewhere, maybe when he was a bit younger. But he's off to play baseball at Stockton. I hope that he continues to enjoy playing the sport, when he can. Obviously, you don't want to hurt yourself. But he scored some real important goals for us. And I think one of the biggest things for all of the lads is that everybody was essential in creating the environment and the culture that we wanted to create. We spent a lot of time together between July and November, and often, around about middle of October, you do start to get sick of each other because you've been spending so much time, and I think it's a testament to the lads and their characters and the people that they are because of the parents that they have, that never really came about. There was never really this moment. We never really had any bothers. Yeah, we have disagreements, but you tend to do that when you're in close quarters with each other for so long. But every single one of them managed to maintain a certain amount of perspective. All right. And when I think back to the Moorestown Friends game, and I said this to the lads at the time, is sometimes that just happens in football. Sometimes you're the better team and you don't win. But again, it's this whole idea of high school sports is, what are we teaching? Teaching lessons in life. And I really believe that the lessons that were taught and the lessons that were learned will make them better people, and the world will be a better place because they're in it. So, as disappointing as it was to lose the game, I don't think we were defeated. So, again, congratulations to you all. With having 13 seniors, it's difficult. I do want to recognize every senior that was playing for us this year. I think that, as I've mentioned, each one of them was valuable in their contribution. However, sometimes it's necessary and required to recommend and to acknowledge specific individual efforts for what they've done. The first award of the evening is the most valuable player, and I think it goes without saying that when you try to play football the way that I like to play football, one of the important things is having a really solid and dependable goalkeeper that you can fall back on. I think one of the great things about having this person is knowing that he took his position seriously, that he wanted to always improve his craft and his ability. I seen that as he came back after his freshman into his sophomore year. His club coach recognized that his passing, his distribution, his concentration have really improved. And he's quite the character as well. And sometimes, it is said that goalkeepers are a different breed. 127 saves, I believe, this season. All right, and when you consider you consider the championship run that we had when we won sectionals, and you saved 2 penalties. Like you really. It talk about pressure and performing under pressure, and he's always done that. He's made some really important saves. He's managed to keep everything on an even keel when it comes to the team. He's there to motivate when you need to motivate. So the MVP for the 2024 Boys Soccer Senior Awards goes to Jack Harmon. All right, the next award is the Team Spirit Award. When I was young, we always used to have a manager's player when we had presentation evenings like this. And that's what I tend to think that the Team Spirit Award is. It goes to the player that best embodies the values of the team. And it goes to the player that, again, goes above and beyond and puts the team before himself. As I mentioned previously, this player, fought through a lot of challenges this past fall. He put his body on the line, and he managed to made sure that he gave everything he had, and he gave as much as he could give. He could give 5 minutes, he gave 5 minutes. If he gave a little bit longer, he gave a little bit longer, and he put everything into making sure that he was ready, and as ready as he could be for when the team needed him. He was always at training, helping out, motivating, pats on the back, all right, kicks up the butt when needed for his teammates. But again, just a great teammate and someone to really be around. That really made the team a great place to be. So the Team Spirit Award for this year goes to Aidan Bonchek. And now for the George Tenza Memorial Award. This award is given in tribute to George Tenza, the father of Bill, the class of 1986, and George, who was the class of 1993. This award is presented to the soccer player who demonstrates outstanding dedication and sportsmanship. And this player certainly did both of those. When it comes down to it, this player, again, played with us for 4 years. It's difficult sometimes being in the spotlight like he was, in the sense that, having your dad be your coach. Because sometimes being able to disassociate between coach and dad is difficult. I know it's definitely a journey that if I manage to deal with as much as this person has, then I'll consider myself a success. But this player, he took that on board and again dedicated himself to the team and to working hard. He was never a player that, I always, if he was playing well, the team was playing well, and he always played well. He was always, again, Mr. 7 out of 10, always give his best. And, really can't think of anything else other than just he always gave his best, and it sometimes didn't work out, sometimes it didn't quite go the way he wanted it to, but I mean, in life, what else can you do but just give your best? And he always gave his best. So this is a very deserving award. So the George Tenzer Memorial Award goes to Andrew Restiano. And now for the Jimmy Reed Memorial Award, which is sponsored by the Reed family in memory of Jimmy Reed, who was an athlete at St. Rose. And it's presented to the most improved soccer player. There was a few contenders for this one, and it made it a bit of a difficult decision. But when I came down to who I thought was the most improved player, there was only really one answer. Maybe could have, should have been a 4-year player with me. But that first year was tough because we had nearly 50 players. We had a freshman team, a JV team, and a varsity team. And we had so many players. And very much like this evening, we graduated a lot of seniors. So it was difficult. I didn't want to carry players just to carry them, and I wanted to make sure that players played. So this player worked hard, got better, and at the end, in his senior year, was a captain and one of the most important players on and off the field. All right, he gave a lot of confidence to the team. Quiet confidence, reserved confidence, but he let his feet do the talking, and he's as hard as nails. So the most improved player and the Jimmy Reed Memorial Award goes to Jack Kane. I'd just like to take the moment to say thank you. It's been a wonderful 4 years here at St. Rose. I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I believe I've learned more from you all than you've learned from me. I'd like to say thank you to Dennis Carey and Kristen Harmon for hiring me and being a part of that hiring process. I'd like to thank Kristen for all of her hard work and dedication and making sure the lads were wrapped up and strapped to play, taking care of injuries and the knocks and the bangs that you get throughout the season. Without you, we wouldn't have been able to get anything close to having the team on the field all the time. Bruce and Dell for their direction as my athletic directors. I'd like to thank the school and the administration for their support. Mark Fletcher, thank you for the beautiful fields. It was a pleasure and a privilege to be on those fields every day. I'd like to thank Dave, and I'd like to thank Alex and Dan and Patrick and Matt, all the assistant coaches that I've had. I think we worked really well together. Dave, again, thank you for your help. We were a great team, and we managed to work well together. And I know that you must have found it difficult at times, having a kid on the team and all that sort of stuff. And I thought you did a great job. So, congratulations to you, and thank you for your honesty. And then, I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you to my wife and my son. Coaching is a very demanding occupation, and you miss a lot. And after we won the sectionals in 22, again, all I could think of was trying to find you two. So thank you for your support. Thank you for being there. Thank you for running around in the softball field when games were going on. Your presence was really important. Okay, so sorry if this was a bit long, but I really wanted to make sure that I could say all that I could say. All right, but thank you very much for your time. I hope you have a great evening, and we'll see you soon.